Welcome to The Deep Dive. Today, we're journeying into some truly awesome natural sculptures carved into our planet. We're doing a deep dive into the world's most breathtaking canyons.
Uh,
Okay, so let's unpack this. We have a really interesting source today: 10 most breathtaking canyons in the world. And our job really is to cut through the noise, give you the essential nuggets, and help you grasp what makes these places so special and so varied.
exactly. I mean, fundamentally, a canyon, or you might hear gorge, it's basically a deep ravine between cliffs, often carved out by a river. But what this deep dive will really show you is just how broad that definition can be. We're talking incredible scale, sometimes unique, almost delicate formations. It really highlights the power of nature.
And speaking of scale, you almost have to start with the big one, the icon, the Grand Canyon, over in Arizona. It's known as one of the seven natural wonders of the world. But what is it about the Grand Canyon? I mean, beyond just being huge, what makes it feel so significant?
That's a great point. The size is, well, staggering. We're talking 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide in places, and plunging down over a mile. That's what, 6,000 feet, 1,800 meters? But what really gets you, I think, is the time involved. It's not just a big ditch. It's like pages of Earth's history laid bare.
Pages of
Yeah,
history.
the layers of rock you see in the wall, some go back almost 2 billion years. It gives us this incredible window into ancient environments. It fundamentally changed how we understood geological time. It's just this profound display of slow, relentless erosion by the Colorado River.
Wow. Trying to wrap your mind around that scale, that time, it naturally leads to the next question. If the Grand Canyon is the icon, which canyon is actually the deepest? Our source throws out a major contender here, the Indus Gorge in Pakistan. It's even described as the deepest canyon in the world.
Oh, it's definitely a contender, a monster, really. The Indus River carves through this thing, and near the Nanga Parbat Massif, it gets incredibly deep. We're talking 4,500 to 5,200 meters. That's 15,000 to 17,000 feet deep. And Nanga Parbat itself, ninth highest mountain on Earth, covered in glaciers. So yes, staggering depth.
Okay, so 17,000 feet. Sounds like the Indus Gorge wins then. Case closed.
Well, not so fast. This is where it gets really interesting, scientifically speaking. Defining deepest isn't quite so simple. There's another huge contender, the Kali Gandaki Gorge in Nepal.
Mm.
But measuring its depth precisely is tricky. There's disagreement on where exactly you measure the rim from,
Why is that?
because it sits between these absolutely colossal peaks, Dhaulagiri over 8,100 meters and Annapurna just over 8,000 meters. The surrounding terrain is just so dramatic it makes defining a single rim height difficult. And then, just to complicate things further, you've also got Tiger Leaping Gorge in China on the Jinsha River, another one sometimes claimed as the world's deepest river canyon.
So it depends on how you measure it.
Exactly. It really highlights how defining these natural features involves choices, methodologies.
Hmm.
Are you measuring through the river, to the highest nearby peaks, or to the average rim height? It shows that even a simple word like deepest can spark a lot of scientific discussion.
That's actually fascinating. Okay, so we've covered massive scale, incredible depth, mostly carved by rivers. But rivers aren't the only sculptures at work, are they? Let's switch gears. Think about Antelope Canyon, also in Arizona. It's supposedly the most visited and most photographed slot canyon in the American Southwest. How did that form? It looks so different.
Antelope Canyon is really unique. Its formation is mainly down to flash flooding, and then secondarily, other subaerial processes, basically. Erosion happening above ground, like wind and rain runoff.
Hmm.
What happens is, especially during monsoon season, rainwater funnels into the area above the canyon. It picks up incredible speed, and sand, lots of sand.
Ah, so it's the sand acting like sandpaper.
Precisely. It scours and polishes the Navajo sandstone, carving out those incredible, smooth, flowing shapes you see in photos. And it's not ancient history either. Flash floods still happen there, still shaping the canyon.
Wow, so sudden bursts of powerful sandy water, that's quite different.
It is, and it provides a great contrast to somewhere like, say, Fjarðarjökull Canyon in Iceland.
Fjarðarjökull, say that again.
Huh, yeah, Fjarðarjökull, it's Icelandic. That canyon was formed by much steadier progressive erosion from glacial meltwater flowing through the rock over a long time.
Glacial water versus flash floods.
Right, so you get these very different aesthetics, different stories of erosion depending on the geological process at work. One slow and steady, the other fast and furious.
It's amazing how varied it is. And, these places aren't just geology. They often become really important to people, to human culture. What about Baikaz Canyon in Romania? Our source mentions that one.
Bicaz is a perfect example of that human connection. Yes, it was carved by the Baikaz River, the geology is there, but it also serves this really vital function as a passageway. It connects the Romanian provinces of Moldova and Transylvania. It's famous for this 8-kilometer drive through winding ravines. It's spectacular, apparently. So the natural feature became a critical link for people.
A natural highway, basically. That's interesting. Are there other canyons that are big hubs for people, maybe for tourism?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Think about the Verdun Gorge in France. It's often called one of Europe's most beautiful canyons. And people flock there. You can drive the rim, you can kayak on the turquoise river below, hike for miles, even go rock climbing on these huge limestone walls that rise hundreds of meters high. It's become this incredible outdoor playground.
Sounds amazing.
And remember Kali Gandaki Gorge in Nepal, the one vying for the deepest title?
Yeah, between those giant peaks.
Well, beyond its depth, it has this deep human history.
Huh.
For centuries, it was a major trade route between India and Tibet. And today, it's a hugely popular trekking route, part of the Annapurna Circuit Trek.
So, ancient trade route to modern trekking path.
Exactly. Shows how these landscapes get woven into human stories across time.
What about Copper Canyon in Mexico? Does that fit this pattern too?
Copper Canyon's a bit different again. It's not actually one single canyon, but a whole network. A group of canyons, the source says, 6 distinct ones. They were formed by 6 different rivers that all eventually merged into the Rio Fuerte. The name comes from the walls. They have this striking copper-green color, so it's more of a complex system, known for its unique look.
A whole system. Interesting. Okay, finally, let's touch on Africa. Fish River Canyon in Namibia. The source calls it the second largest canyon in the world and the largest in Africa, and a major tourist spot too.
That's right. Fish River Canyon is vast, about 100 miles or 160 kilometers long, up to 27 kilometers wide, and in places almost 550 meters deep.
Still incredibly deep, even if not the absolute deepest.
Definitely. And what strikes me looking at all these examples is the sheer global spread. You've got these immense features on nearly every continent, from Himalayan trade routes to European beauty spots, from those unique desert slot canyons in the U.S. to the vastness of southern Africa. Each one tells a story of geological power, sure, but also how humans adapt, interact, and find significance in these landscapes.
So pulling it all together after this whirlwind tour, what's the main takeaway? We've seen such incredible variety, the sheer scale of the Grand Canyon, intense depth battles between Indus and Kali Gandaki, then the totally different formation of Antelope Canyon by flash floods, and places like Verdun and Bicaz that are beautiful but also crucial for travel and tourism.
Yeah, the diversity is really the key. But looking at all these monumental carvings, these ancient landscapes, it does raise an important question, doesn't it? It makes you think these processes, erosion, uplift, they haven't stopped. So as you consider these incredible canyons we know about, maybe ponder this. What new breathtaking wonders are being carved right now, quietly, slowly, maybe deep within the planet or in remote corners, shaped by the same forces, just waiting for their geological moment to be revealed?